every dollar that goes into my pocket, I buy a record for myself. What else is there to buy? My name is Luca Williams. Moonshot Emporium is a record store predominantly, also music in any form, CD, cassette, DVD, VHS, antiques, vintage clothes. My mother works 2 to 3 days a week. And I always say, oh Mom, you gave up your life for the record store. But she does have a lot of fun, and she knows a lot about music. She loves music a lot. My first record was purchased from Amazon, my first few really, and I think that's something that sort of hurts to say because it's sort of tacky, and I think that I definitely wouldn't have gotten as into records if I hadn't discovered stores and going to record stores, meeting people there. It's a whole community, it's a lifestyle. If you're buying records on Amazon, you're not going to find any new music. You're not going to find an album cover that speaks to you, and I think that's a big part of what you get out of going to a record store. There's so many records that I've bought just on a whim because the cover is cool, and then it turns out to be something really good, or something terrible, but at least you know what it is now. I work here usually on Sundays. I go to church and then I come here. How much time I put in is usually outside of here. It's usually buying records and pricing records, which I like to price records while I'm here. But when I look at other record stores, they have a big staff, and they usually have one guy who goes and buys the records, and that's all he does, and one person prices the records, that's all he does, and then someone sells them, which I think it's impressive what we're able to do with the force that we have. We opened the pop-up shop in summer 2020, and then it became Moonshot Emporium in November of 2020 when I was 15. In finding records, I was getting a lot of calls from neighbors, relatives. I had a thing in the newspaper, I buy records. When you're looking through someone's collection, they want you to buy the entire collection. And it sort of quickly turned into, I have to buy, say, 200 records, and there's 2 records in here that I actually want to keep. And it got to a point where, how many copies of Saturday Night Fever or Dark Side of the Moon could I really want? And I just started selling them at antique shows and flea markets, record conventions. Then it turned into buying the collections, knowing that I could actually sell them for a profit, and turn into, this could be a profitable brick-and-mortar, one set space enterprise. When I decided to open the store, it was mostly with money from antique sales and flea markets, etc. And then I also took out a couple loans that are all paid back. I got to give all of that back within a year of opening. That's something that I'm proud of, definitely. These are all new releases. Hip-hop and just indie or other pop. Alphabetized jazz records. This is all world music and reggae. These are all soundtracks. New and old. Mostly used, but some of them are new. This is getting harder and harder to find. The largest portion of people who buy would probably be younger people, 15 to mid-20s. You have some customers that are 12 or younger, but they're coming in for Taylor Swift or Adele or whatever they like. Really everything now is just, not to be a pessimist, but everything's less personal, it's not genuine. It's not a coincidence that now people are not just revisiting the medium itself, but actually the music. Digital formats, it's not real. I want to hold my music and feel it and smell it and just be one with it, really. So in applying to college, my personal essay was about the store, specifically the social side of it for me, as like a social outlet or creative outlet. One of my supplements was just about Sgt. Pepper's and how important that record was to music and myself. A lot of my friends had summer jobs and they had more free time than me, and I had less money in my pocket. Then I really thought about it, and I elect to take records instead of cash. If I did take cash, I would just spend it on records, so it doesn't really matter. Every dollar that goes into my pocket, I buy a record for myself. It's just, you know, what else is there to buy?